And I know that this is not popular, especially amongst Real Madrid fans, but that be careful what you wish for. This was the type of performance that Carlo Ancelotti, as a manager, can put out. Can manage the players even without your best and still find a way to get a result. Next year, if he's not there, can someone command that same type of respect? This is Carlo Ancelotti we're talking about.
1-0 victory over Getafe in the end, and that cuts the gap back to 4 points. Barcelona on 76, Real Madrid on 72. Can they do it? And I think the key thing here in this game, all week we were building up. There was a lot of narrative around the press conference, wasn't there? The media saying that Carlo Ancelotti is sort of too much Mr. Nice Guy. You need to go in there and really drag it out of your players, saying that, you know, he was retorting with the fact that that's just not my style. If you want someone to do that, go and get another manager. And I think you have to tip your hat to him. We said that Getafe, all week we've been saying that this is going to be a tricky game for Real Madrid, given the way they performed against Barcelona, particularly this season. But they got the job done. Who cares if it's a 1-0 victory or a 4-0 victory? Ultimately, it's all about 3 points.
Set out to get 3 points, and doing so without Kylian Mbappe, who's injured. Obviously, rotating this side with a massive Clásico this weekend in the Copa del Rey final, which is really the biggest game of the season for Real Madrid. They were able to get it done with a performance. I think it's even more massive for just the confidence of the group to get it done with the players that were on the pitch, with Arda Güler, with an Endrick, with kind of hanging on there for at the end. To do it that way, it almost gives it a little bit more drama, but gives them confidence that they don't need to have all of their players on the pitch and they can go out and win a tricky game at the Coliseo. We mentioned, this team, Getafe, beat Atletico Madrid at their stadium. They drew against Barcelona at their stadium. It very easily could have been a draw, but Madrid did just enough, and they'll take that confidence moving forward. And here's the lineup. Obviously, a lot of rotation, as you can see here. Brahim Diaz, Arda Guler, Endrick, Vinny Jr. did start the match. Alaba did have to come out. Apparently, he has suffered an injury, is what Carlo Ancelotti said after the game. So it was important to get a victory, however it might be, especially with the players that they put on the pitch. I think it gives them a little bit more confidence.
How much do you think this comes down to the coaching of Carlo Ancelotti? Because there is some rumours that he may be moving on from Real Madrid over the summer. But for me, it's a case of be careful what you wish for, because this is what the guy does best.
Exactly. And I've been saying this, and I know that this is not popular, especially amongst Real Madrid fans, but that be careful what you wish for. This was the type of performance that Carlo Ancelotti, as a manager, can put out. Can manage the players even without your best and still find a way to get a result. Next year, if he's not there, can someone command that same type of respect? This is Carlo Ancelotti we're talking about. This is a manager that has won everything and has proved to do it in multiple ways with tons of different players. And it is interesting that they're just maybe moving on. I think what he did today was a managing masterclass, pulled the right buttons, put the right players on the pitch in the right positions to be able to get the job done. Obviously, they would have liked a little bit more of a cushion here, not just winning 1-0, but it was managed perfectly well by a manager that has consistently shown that he could do it. And for some reason, they're talking about him not having this position next year. To me, it's still kind of befuddling. I don't understand.
Arda Güler got the crucial goal. He hasn't always had too much of an opportunity in this team, and that's understandable given the quality of the players that are ahead of him. But do you think he made a case potentially to get more minutes?
Yes, but I don't know if those minutes will be coming a ton before the end of the season. He is clearly a player with supreme talent that I think is one of the futures of this club, without a doubt. He still has some moments where you see physically he does get bodied off the ball. He does get pushed around a little bit. He is still so young, and that body
he
really
looks about 9 years old.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, look at him right there. But he proves that he's got the talent to do it. I don't know if those minutes will be coming the rest of this season, but it's clear that he is in the plans of this club for the future. Showed it out today again with a beautiful goal with his weaker foot. He is a player that's going to be the future of this club. Maybe has earned some of those extra minutes. Not sure he's going to get them, but I think that relationship between him and Carlo Ancelotti, whether he's going to be here next year or not with this club, it's clearly one of understanding that Arda does understand he's not going to get a ton of minutes with all of these teams. He goes, the celebration I think is kind of telling. Arda scores the goal, goes straight to Carlo Ancelotti, gives him a big hug. Ancelotti gives him a big kiss on the cheek. So that relationship is clearly there. There is an understanding that, look, you're not going to get a ton of minutes, but I believe in you, and you can be a player that can provide for this club, whether it's now or next season.
He's like his granddad, isn't he?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Do you think Real Madrid and Carlo Ancelotti have looked at the success, and in some ways it is forced, that Hansi Flick and Barcelona have had with giving these young players the opportunity? They've had to do so because of the financial difficulties, and that will precipitate, maybe this season, early next season, a slight change in tactics, that they give the opportunities to the youngsters, because Barcelona have proved that a lot of them are ready for this opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, it's also kind of what does Real Madrid do moving forward? Because all everyone wants to talk about this summer is who are Real Madrid going to sign? Who are they going to bring in? Maybe that's more for the back line and maybe for the midfield, and you still have those younger players that can be a force moving forward for this team. But I don't know. I don't see Real Madrid wanting to play a bunch of young guys. It's just not their DNA. They probably should do it. They have some players that can do it. They don't have to go out and spend a ton of money on a huge number of players in the attack. The attack has everything they need. I think where they need to spend money is on the back line, that is really being pieced together now, match in, match out. So I don't see them wanting to play a ton of the younger players, but probably is the right decision.
Small matter of a Clásico on Saturday for all of us to look forward to. From the Real Madrid perspective, how important is getting a result in that game for them mentally? Because, I mean, from Barcelona's side, you sort of say, well, this is a distraction ahead of the Champions League next week.
Without a doubt. This is, I think, is Real Madrid's season right here. I mean, clearly they could still win La Liga, but this is their best chance right now to win a trophy. And having to beat your bitter rivals that have dominated you all season. Kylian Mbappe expected to be in the lineup for Real Madrid after missing this game with that ankle injury. Both teams still, have some injuries, have had some issues the last few matches, and just finding ways to get results. But this is my opinion. This is Real Madrid's season right here. This is the best chance they have to win a trophy, because we all know that as much as I wanted to back Carlo Ancelotti on this team, and he probably, I think, should continue on as the manager of Real Madrid, I do understand if they go trophyless if it's time to move on. So this is huge for Ancelotti and for the club.
Picking up from that point, if they win it, does that save Ancelotti's job, or do you not think it has an impact?
I mean, I think it should. I don't know whether it will, because it seems almost like this is we're just kind of waiting to finish to the end of the season to make this news official, because we've been talking about it for 2 weeks already. I believe that he should stay, especially if he wins that trophy. That gives you something. But Real Madrid fans will tell you that Copa del Rey isn't enough to save the job, even if it's Carlo Ancelotti who's won everything for your club.